Ag the Híomh agus fáilte. Hello and welcome. I'm Jon O'Sullivan of the Irish Pagan School, and I thought I'd come and have a quick chat with you today on the 1st of January 2022. Now, most people who follow a pagan path, or an Irish, particularly Irish pagan path, will acknowledge that the new year from a spiritual point of view happens with Samhain, which is the end of October, and in some cases the month of November. In Irish, the language, the name, the Irish word for November is actually Samhain still. So that's where a lot of kind of New Year traditions from a pagan's perspective fall. And you'll have kind of your preparations for the dark months of the year, going through any kind of shadow work or practices to then move towards the solstice when we have the longest night of the year. And the shortest day. And then the days begin to get longer as our rotation around the sun kind of shifts and our orbit begins to shift back towards the brighter times. But there is also an acknowledgement that the majority of people in many countries don't follow or acknowledge that pagan spirituality, or don't not acknowledge Samhain as their new year. And in fact, many other cultures all around the world have different recognitions and different timeframes when they celebrate their new year. But for a lot of people following the Gregorian calendar, the first day of the first month in this calendar is New Year's Day. And so, though as a pagan, I will acknowledge and celebrate my spiritual practices of New Year in Samhain, I can't really ignore the fact that there's a lot of energetic intention and shift that happens around the first day of the first month of every year. Surrounded by our fantastic communities, surrounded by our neighbors, surrounded by our cultures, our nations, everyone as a vast collective is acknowledging in some ways the first of the first as important, as energetically significant, be it setting their New Year's resolutions, kind of letting go of some of the last year's pains or hurts, and looking forward to a new year, to a new kind of 365 days, a new solar rotation to try and move forward with their plans and their hopes for the future. So I'd be a fool not to try and do that myself. I'd be a fool not to acknowledge that myself. And I do. So though I follow a spiritual practice, which says Samhain is my new year, I also acknowledge the first of the first as a period when there is an opportunity to revisit myself, to revisit my hopes, my aspirations, my goals. I personally don't set resolutions. I have found that if I set myself resolutions, then invariably when I don't achieve to my expectations, it becomes a kind of a crutch or a burden that I use against myself from a low self-esteem or from a mental health point of view. So for me personally, I don't do resolutions, but I do aspirations. And an aspiration is something a little bit more ephemeral. It's not structured in, by this day, by this date, by this month. It's more a feeling, an intentional kind of well-wishing, not just for myself, but for others. And so today I took time to go out into the world safely, to social distance safely, and to find a stretch of the Irish coastline near where I live, and to just be in the moment with the crash of the waves coming in against the shore, with the gulls flying overhead, with the clouds scudding through, with the bit of blue sky that was peeking through, and the wind kind of buffeting me to feel the chill against my skin. It's a very physical thing. It's a very visceral, normal thing, but it can also be a very spiritual thing, to be connected and embracing a moment with the natural environment in which we all live. And so in that space, I didn't set myself resolutions. I set myself some aspirations. And so my aspiration for this year is to be more compassionate every day, to try and be a little bit more compassionate every day, to try and find a joy in every day, to try and find a smile, not just for myself, but for someone else every day. And I now have 364 more days. So why can I not try and achieve those aspirations on a daily basis? Because as much as we might set resolutions and goals, we might set, monthly, weekly plans, quarterly ideals, annual kind of intentions, or like structures, business plans, all of that only is manifested or executed within a day, within a short period of one rotation of our orb from day to night. That is where we are affected. That is where we can do stuff. Within the moment, we can make some action that will change, not just today, but also tomorrow. And so I myself will carry on trying to be compassionate every day and trying to help someone else smile every day. Those are my intentions. So I would ask you, have you set any intentions for yourself? Is there something that you could do today that will make a difference for you tomorrow, the day after that? Is there something that you can offer yourself, be it self-care, self-reflection, a challenge, something you need to kind of step up to, or something you need to step back from? I don't know the answers to these questions, but you will. And so even though you might not be seeing this on the 1st of January 2022, you might not be seeing this the first of any particular month, in the first of any particular year, you might be seeing this on any given day when you come across this video, you are still empowered within this day to do something, to change something, to give yourself something, or to step back from something. You're capable of it. So find it. Find the one thing that will make an impact on you today. And if it's a good thing, maybe try doing it for the rest of the year. So until next time, look after yourself, take care of yourself. Remember, you're a unique expression of existence within this reality. You're the only one of you that will ever be here. So look after yourself and give yourself care and compassion, because you deserve it. Until next time, slán. Goodbye.